Assalamu alaikum students. Today we are going to learn about the Ghaznavi's conquests. It is taken from the chapter The Spread of Islam and from the subheading Raiders and Rulers. Moving towards the next slide is the Lords of Loot, the Ghaznavi conquests. In the mid 10th century, a Turkish leader called Subuktigin seized most of central Persia from the Persians. The eastern border of these lands was at the river Indus. The capital city was Ghazni, south of modern Kabul in Afghanistan. Subuktigin had founded the Ghaznavi Empire, and later on in 998, Subuktigin's son Mahmud, Sultan Mahmud, became ruler. Mahmud named himself Sultan and set about enlarging his lands into a huge empire. He was to reign for 32 years. Sultan Mahmud has been described as one of the greatest generals in history. He believed that all idol statues worshipped by non Muslims should be destroyed. He led a jihad against the Indian temples of Hindus and other religions such as sun worship, and by 1025 had defeated all the kingdoms west of the river Indus and also captured Lahore, changing its name to Mahmudpur. This map shows the Ghaznavi Empire under Mahmud of Ghaznavi. This is the blue area tells about the whole region. It shows the whole region which was taken under by the Mahmud of Ghazni. Here is the picture of Mahmud, who was named as the idol breaker. Mahmud with his army, which had at least 30,000 horsemen as well as many other soldiers, destroyed many temples. The temples had treasures, and the treasures were then looted, and Mahmud and his soldiers were amazed at the amount of gold and jewels they found in the temples. Historians think that Sultan Mahmud raided northern India 17 times. Now moving towards Mahmud's most famous raid, by 1024 Mahmud was the most powerful ruler in Central Asia, and in that year he marched to the fabulously rich temple city of Somnath, which was in Gujarat. The journey was very risky. Mahmud had to cross the desert of Rajasthan where little food or water was available. But Somnath temple was very important for him, and he wanted to destroy it. Somnath was built close to the seashore. The worshippers believed Somnath, the moon lord, bathed the idol with the rise and fall of the sea tide. Mahmud entered the temple and destroyed himself the temple into pieces, the statue into pieces. This is the temple of Somnath. As you can see, it is so huge. It is still remembered as the famous conquest of the Muhammad Ghaznavi. Now, importance of Somnath temple. The Hindu believers believed that the idol which was inside the Somnath temple had divine powers, and it was huge, and huge crowds gathered at lunar eclipse festivals. Many rajas gathered to defend their temple when Mahmud was destroying it. Mahmud's forces killed more than 50,000 people. The temple's 20,000 Brahmin priests called on their god to protect them and begged Mahmud not to destroy the idol. They offered Mahmud all their hidden treasures if he would save the idol statue. But Mahmud refused and entered the great hall where the idol stood. Nearly 5 meters tall, made of stone, covered with gold, the statue was. Mahmud broke it into pieces. Here you can see the picture of Muhammad of Ghor. Now we are going to discuss about the era of Ghoris. The Ghoris were Afghan tribesmen and horse traders from Ghor, hilly land between Ghazni and Herat. In 1175, a Ghor ruler, Muhammad Ghori, marched into the subcontinent. He conquered Multan, Peshawar, Sialkot, and then defeated the last Ghaznavi king at Lahore. After defeating him, the Ghaznavi's rule was ended. Muhammad Ghori settled in Punjab. In 1191, he marched again into India with a large army. The Rajas of India, of North India, formed a large army against him, but Muhammad Ghori had a bigger army than them and defeated the Hindu Rajas. The Ghoris took control of large areas of northern India then. Muhammad Ghori returned to Ghazni and left the northern India under the leadership of Qutbuddin Aibak. Qutbuddin's forces conquered many areas and destroyed the important Buddhist university at Nalanda. Many monks were killed and others fled. This attack largely put an end to Buddhism in northern India, and the foundations of Islam were firmly laid in India by the beginning of the 13th century. In 1206, Qutbuddin Aibak became ruler of the Ghoris lands, which included most of northern India and modern-day Pakistan. This was the foundation of the Delhi Sultanate. So students, this was all for today. We will meet in the next video. Thank you.